So once again, we began to prepare to go back to Everest for round 3. Now, you have your own preparatory steps that you go through as well, obviously. Strategic plans and budget plans and infrastructure plans and marketing plans and materials plans and IT plans, foundation plans and donation plans and staff plans. Huge amount of planning. And I believe success is exactly that way. I believe success is 97% preparation, but only 3% execution. 4 steps involved in climbing Mount Everest. First, raise the capital. Second, organize the trip. Third, prepare ourselves physically and mentally to go climb the mountain. Fourth, go and actually try to climb the mountain. 97% of that work occurs long before you ever arrive in base camp. And yet we fixate entirely on the summit and what happens on the mountain, and yet is all that preparatory work, by and large, that can potentially affect the outcome of the expedition in a huge, huge way. So we went through those preparatory steps. We raised the capital, and then we began to prepare ourselves physically and mentally to go climb the mountain. Now, because I speak anywhere from 60 to 80 times a year all over the world, I can't always get out to the mountains to train, because sometimes I'm in San Diego. But I found I could always get into the health club at the hotel. So here's what I did. I loaded up my backpack with 50 pounds of weight. I put 5 pounds on each ankle. I cranked the treadmill up to maximum incline 25 degrees, and I trained there for 2 hours at a time. Now raise your hand if you can relate to this. You can't relate to this? Well, come on now. Who can relate to working 4 times harder and getting the sense that you're going absolutely nowhere? Just who can relate to that? You're airing your armpits, I see, as I am. Absolutely. We all share that in common. Now, at first appearance, it looks like nothing's happening, right? The scenery is not changing, but wait a second, there's a huge amount of change. There's a huge amount of physiological change, and there's a huge amount of mental change. Because for every single step I take in my training treadmill, I repeat my training mantra. And my training mantra is can, will. I can't climb Everest, I will climb Everest. I can't climb Everest, I will climb Everest. Over and over and over again. Not 100 times, not 1,000 times, but millions of times. Because when our subconscious minds hear something often enough, sooner or later we begin to believe it. And therein lies the power. Now, this power can be applied in any challenge, even yours. On my medical mountain, I had my own medical mountain mantra. For every step I took in the hospital ward, I said to myself, I can get better. I will get better. I even repeated to myself while I was on the stationary bike on the ward receiving chemotherapy. You see, in every obstacle, there is always opportunity. The obstacle that you have is to somehow fulfill this massive demand. But in that massive demand, there's also massive opportunity to positively affect the lives of millions and millions and millions of people far beyond those that you're currently touching.